There's too much importance in Jewish presence in both our countries.
What do you think when you hear the word Zionist?
I think Nazism.
You think Nazism?
Yeah.
Do you want to explain a little bit on that? Or?
Well, I think it's got the same ideals of Nazism, that the chosen people, the right to just invade lands and just evict a lot of people for them and just decimate a whole population.
Do you think the Jews are indigenous to Israel?
No, they're not. They're not. By the way, they're not Semites. I mean, they like to hide behind the cloak of anti-Semitism, but actually they're Ashkenazites from all over the world. They're not Semites at all. There are more Arab Semites than there are Jewish Semites.
In this country, Hamas is designated as a terrorist organisation, and that means voicing support for them is illegal. Do you think that stops people being able to say what they feel at these protests?
100%, yes.
Yes?
Yes. Everyone is accusing you, condemn Hamas, or you're in jail, almost like this. They provoke everyone not to support any resistance.
Do you think...
They even try to stop wearing this kufiya for Palestine. And this is all Zionist work.
As in the Hamas is prescribed terrorist organisation because of the Zionists?
Yes.
What do you think when you hear the word Zionist?
I think capitalism, money and hate.
Do you think the media in this country has a bias in favour of Israel?
I think we're afraid of it.
Afraid of Israel?
Yeah, we're afraid of it. Just like America's afraid of it. Like, there's too much money wrapped up in it. There's too much importance in Jewish presence in both our countries. They don't want to upset the apple cart. They can't. So we go bomb Yemen instead.
Well, what do you mean by that? There's too much importance on Jewish presence.
There's a lot of Jewish historical money and historical positions of power where you can't just upset them. You can't just not back them. You can't just upset them. Otherwise, that money disappears. Those people take their business elsewhere. Just plain and simple, really.
Why do you think that's the case?
If I was there 70 years ago when this money was being made, I'd probably be one of the rich people too. I would have done the same. But I don't know. They keep them, they have money, they have influence. However they attained it, I'm not sure.
As you've probably heard, under British law, Hamas are a prescribed terrorist organisation, and supporting them is a crime under British law. Do you think that kind of like muzzles free speech? Do you think that's fair?
Well, I think it does, yes, because the dividing line between a terrorist organisation and a freedom-fighting organisation is very narrow, isn't it? I mean, the IRA, in the end, could be called terrorists or freedom parties. The ANC could be called terrorists or freedom fighters. It's all about oppressed minorities or oppressed people.
Nelson Mandela was considered once as a terrorist. Other resistance figures were considered also. Yasser Arafat was a terrorist. And I think both they had the Nobel Prize for Peace. Yasser Arafat, I know. Nelson Mandela, I'm not very sure, but I think he did. So everyone who starts resisting against Zionism will be framed as a terrorist.
Right. Yeah.
And then the time will prove they were right.
You're probably aware, in the UK, Hamas are a prescribed terrorist organisation, and that means it's illegal to air support for them. I mean, do you think that makes it difficult for people at these rallies to kind of be honest and express their views?
Well, first of all, Hamas, like your man said in their news, UN-led said they're not a terrorist organisation, they're a political party. They deserve to exist, they were voted in democratically, and just because the Americans and the British don't like the way it's going, it's just they're going to have to suck it up.
Do you think Hamas are anti-Semitic?
Do you think Hamas are anti-Semitic? No, not at all. No, I don't.
Do you think Hamas are anti-Semitic?
No, not at all. I think they are Semitic. They are the original people of Palestine, pure Semites, and They're only fighting for what's theirs. Any country should do it.
Do you think that Zionism and Judaism have anything to do with each other?
Absolutely not.
No, just no connection.
Beautiful religion that obviously full respect to what they believe and how they carry themselves. Just like Islam, we respect ourselves and how we carry ourselves. Zionism, Judaism are separate.
I believe and I understand that a very small percentage of people have a lot of the wealth. That involves, especially in sectors that I work in and things like this, a lot of Jewish money is at the top of the tree. It just is.
Does the presence of Zionists in this country concern you?
Big time, yeah. I think they're pushing the agenda. Their manifesto is just horrible. I think they should be proscribed, like the way the Nazis were in for World War II. Yeah. Mosley's mob and all that. And I think they should be clamped down on, yeah. Big time.
Do you think they should potentially be like expelled from the country?
Well, for their actions, I would say yes. Yeah, for their targeting of political parties, the targeting of members of the Labour Party, and the complete buyout of the Labour Party, it's just detrimental to democracy. And they should be thrown out of the country, yeah.
They're doing it all the time. They bring it up. It's always in the press. There's always lots of films. There's lots of things about the Holocaust. All the time. I mean, it's like shoved down your throat. And there's a national Holocaust Remembrance Day, but there have been thousands of Holocausts in history. Yeah. Why that Holocaust is remembered and not other Holocausts?
A lot of people at these marches that we've spoken to have made comparisons between Zionism and Nazism. What do you think of that comparison?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
I absolutely agree with that.
Do you think that...
I think that, you know, Never Again was just a trademark for the Zionists to use, but it's something that they use but don't believe.
This is the equivalent of me going to someone's house going, my great-great-great-grandfather lived in this house, it's still mine. That sounds like lunacy.
So what do you think about the claims from the Jewish community that they're actually indigenous to the modern land of Israel and therefore they do have a claim to it?
Under British law, Hamas are a proscribed terrorist organisation. That means saying anything to support them is a crime. Do you think that's fair? Do you think it kind of silences people?
I think that does make people, they want to put fear in people. They want people to be scared, to be free to say what they want and what they believe. And I believe that if you are protecting your land in your country, and if you are protecting yourself, you shouldn't be classed as a terrorist by another country who is also now claiming to be protecting themselves.
I live in North London. I don't work in government. I don't know.
We're not anti-Semitic, we're anti-Zionist.